Hey guys, welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and so today we're going to be showcasing you guys a brand new deck profile post Rise of the Duelist. And before we get into any details, I just wanted to see the deck profile. It's up on screen, but please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel a lot and lets me know you guys are enjoying the content. And I really want to push you guys to go ahead and subscribe, because that way I can go ahead and bring some collaborators onto the channel and showcase different opinions and different profiles as well. But getting into the deck profile, I just want to say first off, this deck doesn't really brick. The only way it will brick is if you only have one searcher and they have Ash and you do not have 3 tactical talents. That's pretty much the only way you can brick, apart from drawing all ritual monsters, which is very unlikely. And this deck would only be even more consistent if we had this card, which would be Diviner of the Herald. But since we do not have that, unfortunately, and we do not know when it's going to be released, this one card would allow us to go ahead and make so many plays, even allowing us to play Needle Fiber, because of the fact that this is a tuner, and this would give us an option to go into so many plays. So, heading into the profile, or if you guys want to see a combo video after this, feel free to leave a like in the video. It really lets me know you guys are enjoying the content. And so, in alphabetical order, we're just going to go ahead and go with Archlord Kristya first off. This is in here because you are sending so many fairy monsters to your graveyard. And by any chance, if you do not have the 4, you can still normal summon it to go ahead and lock out you and your opponent for special summoning, which really doesn't matter to you as long as you have negates. And our one normal summon of the deck, apart from Kristya, would be Petit Angel. This is in here because you can add Benten or Machine Angel Ritual to your hand, which will come in very crucial in certain situations. Next we have Impcantation Candoll and Impcantation Talismandra. These are just one-ofs, they're not bricks at all. If you have anything in your hand to go ahead and collaborate with it, it's pretty much giving you your 2 special summons right there. And you can go ahead and have a normal summon for Kristya at the very worst. Next for our 2 Dogmatikas, still hasn't been updated in Dueling Book, but we have 2 Maximus. So this card is bananas, especially thinking about what you can do with everything in your extra deck. You don't really use your extra deck in Herald, so this just gives you an added benefit of just going ahead and allowing you to get more and more searchers. So with just this and the searcher, you pretty much would just go ahead and have full combo right then and there. This, if the searcher goes through, it's literally a 1-card Herald. Next we have 3 Benten, searcher of the deck. If it's tributed, you can search any fairy. Dakini, this would help you if you have, let's say for example, 2 Bentens in your hand. This actually does recover at the end of your turn a ritual monster or ritual spell. So this pretty much continues to go ahead and have the added benefit of recycling your cards for Herald. But this does give all your ritual monsters piercing, so this can influence the game, and this also makes your opponent send a monster from their field to the graveyard. So even though it's their choice, it is still removal. Next, Idaten. Idaten's in here because this will help you search Herald. Also, your Dawn of the Herald is searchable with this at the very worst, because if you have Machine Angel Ritual, Benten, Idaten, you will still have a way of getting to your Herald, so it's a pseudo pre-prep. Next, main card of the deck, Herald of Perfection. Nothing to say more. 1 Impcantation Chalislime, you can search it with your Preparation of Rites, so you don't really need more than 1, because after you use it once, that's it, you don't really need it anymore. 3 Dawn of the Herald to go with our Herald of Perfection. 3 Disciple of Nadir, like I said before, this card is a 1-card Herald of Perfection, because it will literally get you all of the cards that you need for your Herald of Perfection, but it will depend on your hand as well. So next we have 3 Extra Foolish Burial. We want to get cards from our extra into our graveyard as fast as possible, and this card will help us get to that. Yeah, paying half your life and not being able to set is a pain in the ass, but if you really just want to go ahead and lock your opponent out with Herald, this is something that you really just want to go ahead and focus on. Next we have Machine Angel Ritual. We run 2 copies of this because we want to go ahead and have a way of protecting our monsters. And not only that, this allows us to go ahead and use Idaten for its search effect and Dakini for its removal effect. So you gotta keep that in mind. This card is not a brick. At the very worst, it is protection. Next, Pre-Preparation of Rites. This card is probably the best searcher in your deck because it searches both your Herald and Dawn of the Herald at the same time. Preparation of Rites, nothing to say more. This is really just a broken card. 2 Ritual Sanctuary and 1 Terraforming. You don't really need 3. 3, in my opinion, tends to brick, and you really want consistency and take cards out of your deck as fast as possible. 3 technical counts. This is in here because of the obvious reasons. At the very worst, you can pitch it for Ritual Sanctuary if you have multiples. But if your opponent, for some reason, ashes you, you can draw 2 cards. But if you already have everything you really need, you just take a card out their hand, and that really will do a lot of damage because 1 card can give you so much advantage in this game. It's not even funny. So leave your opponent starting out with 3 cards, and you have a full Herald setup. And a Kristya, how are they supposed to out it without forbidden droplets? And you already have a way of getting around it. 1 Upstart for consistency, and a Shaddoll Rock. This name, I believe, got changed in Rise of the Duelist. I don't actually remember the actual name at the moment, and I'm a Shaddoll player, and I'm sorry about that. But this card really just is unfair. In my opinion, this card will get banned within the first 2 formats after we are able to play local events again. But this card should get banned in the future because this card is really unfair. It facilitates anyone that's not playing Shaddolls to go ahead and make a Winda on their opponent's turn, and you don't have to run any of the fusions, which is, like I said, really just unfair. And not only that, it's removed. So, the side deck is just filled with options you can run, which is Scythe, which you can use it with the Dagda, which I'll get into in a bit. Barrier Statue, doing Condemn Witch, because Condemn Witch can search forbidden droplets, and you can summon Barrier Statue with Condemn Witch on your opponent's turn. Natasha and Vrasher for when you play second. Cyclone, Dipper no more. Great options for removal or just negating your opponent's monster effects. Forbidden Droplets, great a card, also being released in Rise of the Duelist, but keep in mind you have to send cards from your hand to the graveyard, and sometimes you don't really want that, which is why Dark Ruler is an option still. Lightning Storm is obvious because you don't want to deal with back row. Sanctum, you can use it if you want to go ahead and focus on locking your opponent out of the extra deck, but you do have Dagda, so you can go ahead and just use that. Curse Seal because your deck is really mostly spells. Reverie because you don't want to deal with back row. And Judgment just in case something for some reason goes wrong and you have not used your extra Foolish Burial. For our extra deck we have Shaddoll Package, Apkallone, Construct, and Winda. Keep in mind Construct is a fairy as well, so this does count towards Kristya. 3 Ints, just to pop. If you really just want to go ahead and pop cards on the field, this is a great option. Incineration Ambassador, I believe this got changed as well. I forgot the name. But this card will literally just search out your Maximus, so that's the only reason why it's in here. 3 Herald of the Archlord. This is a self-explanatory card. Omega because you can just put cards back in your extra that you really want. Utopia Beyond is in here because you run a lot of level 6s, and if you have an option to go into your extra deck, this is just a card to help you OTK. Dagda's in here as an option for Scythe. You don't really use it, but it is an option. And the last 2 cards in the extra is probably the only 2 cards in your extra that you really will consciously go into a lot based on your hand, which would be Almiraj and Gardna, because you do have Cyberbiscuit Angel. If you happen to normal summon it, you can go ahead and get your search. If they go ahead and do anything about it, you still have a way of going ahead and making your Maximus live by going into Almiraj and Secure Gardna. Anyways, that's the deck profile. Let me know what you guys think, and really just I want to thank you guys for your support, and check out any of my other profiles on the channel. Again, thank you guys for your time. See ya.